Andres Rodriguez on second. Palmer Carr Jr. on first and 2 outs. The 2-1 pitch. High fly ball to left. Corey goes out. McDonald comes in. McDonald makes the catch and the ball game is over. Chris Smith throws a complete game 3-hit shutout over the Grand Prairie Airhogs, and the Wingnuts with a 6-0 win here in Game 2 of the Division Series have taken a 2-0 lead. Chris Smith with a first 9-inning shutout of his 11-year professional career. On the mound tonight for the Wichita Wingnuts is right-hander Chris Smith. Smith is 8-3 on the year, tied for 12th in the American Association with a 3.58 ERA. 2-2 pitch, swinging a pop-up left side. Abel Nieves camping under it just to the right of the third base bag. Nieves reaches over and he makes the catch. So Adam Kleiner retired, 1 out and nobody on here in the top half of the first inning. Left-hand batter Armstrong setting up inside, swinging a ground ball fair just inside the first base bag. They'll roll into the right field corner. Massar on his way to second. Beer gets to the ball. Massar is going to try for 3. Here's the relay from Cahalileo. It's not going to be in time. And Massar slides into third with his 13th triple. Swinging a line drive towards the middle, base hit center field, and Gary will take an early lead. Massaro scores from third. Maddox goes to second. And Christian Vitters comes through with a clutch 2-out RBI single to center. Massaro, and he hit the triple. Swinging a chopper towards the hole. Backhanded by Corey, goes to second for the force, just in time to get Vitters. And the side is Vitters lead. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on a slider in the dirt. Dug out by Armstrong. Sets up in fair ground. Throw to first is just in time to get Massaro. And the inning is over. So Chris Smith able to strand 2-0. A windup from Combs. Now the 3-1 pitch. High fly ball deep left field. Looking up is Klein over by the fence. And it's gone! And that's another Heroes home run. C.J. Ziegler with home run number 23 of 2013. And crowds the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a line drive to right field. Long one for Beard, moving over, reaches over, makes the catch, and the side is retired. Signed by the RailCats in their bullpen. Fastball on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Brian Cole, that's the 0-2 on Nick Lyles. Quickly to the windup. The pitch, swinging a high chopper to short, moving in front of Ryan Corey. He backhands, fires across to first, and it's just in time to get Lyles, and the inning is over. Chris Smith with a 1-2-3, top half of the 6th inning, sets the side down in order for the plate. The pitch, line drive towards right center field, going over Martinez, reaches, can't get it. It's in for a hit, and the Wingnuts will win it. Cleveland around third will score, and the Wingnuts pull it out 2-1 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Abel Nieves slices a game-winning hit to right center beyond the reach of a sliding Drew Martinez. And the Wingnuts mob Nieves between second and third as they take the opener of this 3-game series by a final score of 2-1.
Yeah, tonight was a game of kind of cat and mouse with myself. I threw a lot of pitches early in the ball game. I gave up 1 run, a couple hits in the first, and then it appeared that I settled down the next 5, but just battling, I would say, for me, control issues. None of my pitches were going where I wanted them to. Out of like 4 pitches per at bat, I was trying to make 1 quality pitch, and then especially with runners on base, I tried to make 1 quality pitch. Yeah, it was a struggle from, like I said, from pitch 1. I felt anxious, I felt too good, I had an extra day off, so I felt like real good, real loose. I wasn't as tight as I usually am. I didn't have feel on getting extension towards the plate, so I was probably like, in my eyes, a little bit erratic, but I mean, that kind of thing worked in my favor, knowing that they're going to take pitches. So I didn't have to be right on track. Some balls I got away with, probably in the middle of the plate, strike 1. And then obviously after strike one, I expanded, and it was to my benefit because some pitches looked better than others, and they fell out of the zone and they chased, or it was mishit balls and missed contact. So that's what I'm looking for, is bad contact, and it just worked tonight in my favor. That was a little erratic. I felt different than I usually have. I struggled through 3 innings, throwing like 60, 70 pitches, and then kind of like when I needed to, runners in the scoring position, bear down, and I was able to throw 1 or 2 quality pitches back to back to show them that, hey, I'm pressing tight on the strike zone, so please hit the ball. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I mean, I'm going to try to just mentally stay on top of my game, because if it's working, and not broke, don't fix it. They have their approach. They're not changing their approach. I'm not going to change my approach. They know what I have. I know what they have. Best man win. It's a chess match right now. Like, they know what I'm bringing. I know what I'm bringing. I know when they're going to do certain things. They know what kind of pitches I'm going to go to in certain counts. So now it's just not, the whole trickiness and the magic is out of it. It's just going to be who makes the best pitches, who puts the best contact on the ball, and bottom line, when the game is in a tight situation, who's going to make execution? Are they going to put the ball down in bunt situations? Are they going to steal? Are they going to get the quality hit and run? Are they going to move the runner over? Am I going to get 0-2 strikeouts? Am I going to be, like I talked about earlier, on or out in 3 pitches to lower my pitch count? Can I keep on attacking them and forcing them contact in the zone? Tonight, tonight I'm going to go home and get a good night's sleep. Early day tomorrow, I'm going to wake up. Got to bounce back. Tomorrow's my day 1. I got to get a good workout in. I'm going to go ahead and probably take off and go on a nice little jog somewhere to flush out the body, get my body kind of beat up a little bit, and recover. Now it's about how fast can I recover. I need to have my body recover pretty quick, so I'm going to throw in 4 days, and I got to throw a bullpen in about another day, so I got to make sure that I'm ready to go and able to do what I need to do in 4 days. So tomorrow's probably going to be a nice big long run, and then probably a little lower body circuit, some weights, and then after that it's going to be coming here in the dugout and cheering the guys on, and then I just play cheerleader now until I start again.
Manufactured runs. They're a small ball type of team, but we know that about them. And for us to give ourselves a chance to beat them, we need to keep guys off the base paths and out of scoring position by controlling the running game and being aggressive in the count, letting our defense work. We don't have to do too much. These guys will get themselves out if we allow them to a lot of times.
You know what? That's a tough team to pitch to. They're a lot different as far as their approach to most teams in the league. Most of the teams in this league, it seems to be that they're going to be, if anything, going to be a little over-aggressive. With these guys, they take a lot of pitches. It's real easy to fall into traps and get behind in the count with them, and you don't have to be quite as aware. There's not quite as much power in the lineup, so you don't have to be quite as aware behind in the count of them free swinging.
Hey guys, what's going on? Day 1 today, total body lift, flush run, 30 to 45 minutes. I threw last night, so today is going to be pretty bad as far as how I'm feeling. I'm a little sluggish, a little tight, a little sore. I want to knock it all out, get ready for my bullpen tomorrow and Gary on Tuesday. So I'm in the weight room here, aka the dungeon, trying to get a good sweat and listen to some old school rock and roll. I'm one of the bigger guys on the team, so this is important to me. Lifting like this, you got to maintain your body figure and your look around the clubhouse. And like I said, I'm one of the bigger guys, so I can't let that down. And I'm just trying to work hard here. And Van Halen, here we go. Time to work it out. Later.
He's not a guy that I really worry about. His last outing was kind of atypical for him, just from the standpoint of being aggressive in the zone. Was kind of fidgety with his fastball, kind of a little bit erratic with his fastball, but settled in and gave us a chance to win, which he'll always do because of the kind of pitcher that he is and the stuff that he has. He's, like I said, he's a guy that I don't have to worry about getting his work in. He's a guy that he self-corrects a lot of times before I even have anything to say. So he's been around, he knows his body, he knows what he needs to do to prepare himself to be successful the next time out, and I expect him to have a better outing this time around against Gary. He gives us a chance to win. He always goes deep in the games. He's been a workhorse for us this year, and he gives himself a chance early by having quick innings, getting guys out with that changeup, and letting his fastball eat late. He knows how to pitch. He's a very smart individual when it's on the mound, when he's out on the mound, and he knows when to rear back. He knows when to let his defense work. He knows when he needs to have a quick inning, when he's had a long inning. He knows those things already, so that's nice for me. It makes my job a little bit easier. actually a lot easier. But he knows what he's doing to give himself a chance and to give his team a chance to win every time he toes that rubber. I feel confident that we've got a good chance to win that ball game.
I think there was, I think Smitty had an extra day there, so I think he was feeling pretty good, a little bit, maybe even a little bit too fresh sometimes. The first 3 innings, nothing he was doing wrong. They just went up there with an approach, and they were spitting on some pretty decent pitches. And after the 3rd inning there, he kind of settled in, started tackling the fastball, establishing the inner half of the plate, and then all of a sudden we started getting some swings and some off speed. Overpowering is a word that gets thrown around, for guys that are throwing 94, 96. It's maybe Smitty's 90, 91, 92, but the thing is he commands 2 good off-speed pitches for strikes. So you can't just sit there and look for a fastball all day. If you've got to sit there and sit on something else, that 92 all of a sudden is going to look like 94. So he pitches like a power pitcher. He's got good enough stuff to be able to do that. He might not have 95, but he's able to create that illusion with what he does with his other pitches. That's one thing that he's really done a good job with this year, is establishing that inside fastball late in the count. It looks great when you lock a guy up on a heater in, but what sometimes people don't understand is that's in that guy's head for the next bat, the next series. If you get locked up on a fastball inside, that's almost like a humbling part of in baseball. Like, nobody wants to get jammed, nobody wants to get blown up inside, nobody wants to get locked up inside. That's where your power is supposed to be. So when you're able to do that, especially to strike a guy out, guys on the bench take notice of that. That guy's going to take notice of it, and then all of a sudden we've got them thinking about the pitch inside, which plays into our strength again, because that's how we get our outs away. So if you mix 2 or 3 of those in a game, that's going to 2 or 3 outs like that in a game is going to buy you 5 or 6 outs the other way. It's always the same game plan. The only thing that'll alter is how he's feeling that day. I mean, there's days where you're going to have a great slider and an average changeup. There's days where you're going to have an average changeup and a great slider. There's days where you're not going to have either. There's days where you're going to have those 2 plus a great fastball, and those are the easy days. So you go out there, you see what he's got, you see how they've adjusted from him the last start, and you just kind of fly by the seat of your pants a little bit and make adjustments as you go.
Fresh veggies in the premium McGrath or a McCafe in very pomegranate cooking at the Spinning Restaurant. Now more than ever, there's something for everyone to love at McDonald's. And you can meet our ad. Visit 911.com. Hotel Circle Restaurant.
Yeah, day 2, bullpen day, long toss, really flush out the soreness from yesterday, and then with my throwing partner try to get extension, to get my arm in a natural arm slot, and start building some strength now in recovery. After long toss, bring it back and throw a bullpen. This week going into Gary, I have an extra off day on Monday, so I threw a couple extra pitches on the bullpen that I normally wouldn't do, but I was feeling good, so I just wanted to carry through and finish with a strong bullpen. Got in and going to do some running, another little flush run, but not as long as yesterday. Just something to get the flush out from the bullpen today.
Times it kind of depends on the pitcher, and it depends on the time of season. I mean, as you get later in the season, those become more about maintenance than they do actually working on stuff. Earlier in the season is an opportunity for you to work on some of the things you need to get better at, whether it's a certain pitch, whether it's a mechanic, whether it's commanding a certain pitch or release point or whatever it is. That's our work days for our starting pitchers. They get their long toss in that day. That's usually their pretty good power running day, and then they come over and get their side in, and that's our day to work on whatever it is that we need to get a feel for to get us comfortable, get some of the kinks worked out from the previous start, and then get our arm recovering for that next one.
Yesterday I woke up real sore, and then just kind of had to flush it out of my body. Today it was gradual. I'm getting better, and then as I start getting closer to my next start, I should be about 90-95% ready to go. But today, 100 times better than I did yesterday, but still not where I want to be when I start the game on Tuesday.
Why do you think it is that you hold the ball so well when you don't have a hold on? Like when you don't have a hold tape or a hold pitch on, you hold the ball really well. I mean, you have set, but then once we get a hold pitch on, it's like, why do you think that is? Mentality is just knowing that you have to do it.
in bullpens, it's mainly fastball command. I want to get my reps going. I want to get on top of the ball, and I want to establish that consistency in fastball command. Once I get the fastball command where I think it needs to be, change-up and sliders are going to be fine because my arm angle and my arm release point and where I'm needing to finish the ball is right on track. I just try to work on the stretch. That's where you're going to make your crucial pitches in the game, is in the stretch. So I need to get comfortable by working in the stretch. And then in the windup, it's easy to throw in the windup. You might start the game in the windup. First pitch is a hit by a batter, or a hit by pitch, or an error, or a hit. Then you're in the stretch anyway. So I try to work on my bullpens in the stretch position because that's when the game's on the line. As close to max as possible. This way I can start repeating my delivery. And if I can repeat my delivery and work on that, then the game, it's going to be just the same. But if I go to lower intensity or a lower max effort, I'm going to be hit or miss because I'm not really working on anything that I'm going to carry into the game. So I try to get my body ready to throw my bullpen today, so I can, if it's a quick 15 pitches to 25 pitches, or if it's 25 to 40, I need to make it as realistic as possible. So if I'm not feeling up to it, or kind of feeling still sluggish from yesterday, then I'll break it down and do about 15, 20 pitches. But today I felt great. So I think I threw about 45 pitches. So. I'm going to come out and I'm going to run again, just try to get back off from the bullpen today. I'm going to play about a good another long toss. I have an extra day off this week, so tomorrow will be a nice long toss. Flush out the arm and then run, and a lot of stretching. Hang out in the dugout and just be ready. Hey guys, today was day 3, played catch, a little flush run. It's easy on day 3 because you're kind of just after the soreness of day 1 and your bullpen on day 2. Today's kind of like a relaxed day. I have an extra day coming into this week. I throw against Gary on Tuesday, so today I wanted to just give myself a little break and just play catch and run. I did some shoulder program here today. Today's a day that I want to get my shoulders kind of a workout in and strengthen them. During the week, I do that once a week, and it fell on day 3. I usually do it on day 3 or 4, just so my body feels nice and tight, ready for the game. All right, that sounds about it. Thank you.
One thing is I've got to be able to rely on the pitcher, because a lot of times I can't see where a guy's moving in the box. I can't see if his front side's leaking early. Those are the things that I rely on him to be able to see. As far as myself, the biggest thing for me is I look to see how they're taking pitches. If it's a fastball count and a runner in scoring position or something like that, and we throw a fastball, a hittable fastball, and he doesn't even budge, I got a pretty good idea they're looking for something off speed. If they come out just unglued in the first few swings, obviously they're worried about getting 2 strikes, and we can pitch backwards a little bit. So it varies from hitter to hitter, and it's also remembering what that guy did his last at bat. So to be able to pick up a tendency and recognize the tendency, you have to know the history of his last few at bats, because those are a lot of times those are the things that are going to create those tendencies.
Having a guy back there with Cole, like Cole, is something that it's refreshing. Going into it, you have a game plan, and then he has a game plan. So he's constantly working, I'm constantly working. So to have both of us working, if there's a spot where I don't know, like on a test, like what's the answer, he can come up and help me. Hey, call timeout, come out. What are we thinking here? He has a different viewpoint than I do. He sees behind the guy maybe slump, or how's he feeling, is he dry, I don't know, but back there he has more of a right there kind of attitude, right there kind of mentality. So it's like in the moment you go with your catcher, but from my standpoint, it's like I kind of know what I want to throw. When in doubt, I'm going to throw this pitch, but it's nice to have him back there because he plays devil advocate, like what we got going on here. But Cole does a great job. I'm not necessarily a guy that I focus in on like what's expected out of him. You know, I know he's going to come to the field every day and do his job day in and day out. He's a guy that takes care of himself, so I don't have to worry about that. He's there for us, and I know that when I'm pitching, I'm there for him. So it's like it's a mutual thing, going back and forth. That's something awesome to have. Sometimes you might have a rookie back there where you're trying to think about your game calling and your pitch selection during the game. He's trying to learn from you at the same time. Cole's a guy who came in here and established himself as the #1 catcher because he knew the staff, he knew the bullpen, he knew what our strengths were, he knew what our weaknesses were. So during a game, if something happens like that and you need your strength, and you want to go away from your weakness, he's there to kind of pick you up.
We wouldn't have the staff that we have, and we wouldn't be doing the things we did if it wasn't for our catchers. Our catchers are the most. That's why it's called a battery. There's an A and a B. There's a positive and a negative, and they work together. And if they're not on the same page, then it doesn't matter how good your pitcher is because it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. We have great. Cole's done a great job for us. Bowdy, when he stepped up, has done a great job for us. Stepped in there. We have a great pitching staff, and the two working together is fun to watch because we've gone out and done it consistently all year. And he's a very smart catcher. It's fun. Like when you come in, and he takes pride in that. Like he takes pride in being able to freeze guys up and lock guys up late with fastball because of the way that he set the count up throughout the at bat. Knowing what the hitters are, what the hitter's strengths are, knowing what the pitcher's strengths are, knowing what the hitter's weaknesses are, and trying to exploit those in a way that we give ourselves the best opportunity to get that guy out in whatever situation we're in. Cole does a tremendous job, and when he comes in the dugout, he's always communicating, he's always giving guys what they need to hear, and he does a really nice job. He takes a lot of pride in what he does behind the plate.
Good. 2 more. One more. That's let's see. That's day 4. Warm up. That's pretty much every day. I run 4 laps like that just to get the blood flowing and the body going before a stretch. I'm going to go ahead and stretch my arms, stretch my legs, get ready to throw. I'm going to play a little long toss today, get the arm flushed out. Tomorrow's an off day. I'm going to come in early on the off day and throw on my flat ground. It's a shorter bullpen, flat ground, working on extension. And then on Tuesday, I got my game, doubleheader in Gary, starting at 5. It's mainly for myself, not for, I would say, baseball. I like to run because it just makes me feel better. It puts my body in a position to compete on the baseball field. I don't think it necessarily helps me pitch, but it makes a lot of the aches and pains. It makes myself feel good. Therefore, if I feel good, I should be able to translate that to pitching pretty good.
No fresh produce, that's a catcher.
Nobody?
Not a catcher.
It's ready, you man. Played catch with Justin Clip and Anthony Capra today. Long toss, probably maybe 200 feet. Felt good, just kind of nice and easy. Getting the extension, letting the body, get ready for Tuesday.
My confidence level. I love learning math and being a student at Math Nation.
make it 120 feet. Catch is probably the funnest part of my day. It never gets old, and it's, I think, one of the best things I love doing is, I don't know, playing catch with anybody. The only kid-like aspect of the game anymore, it's not a business anymore, it's just playing catch and feeling good. No, you're good, stay there.
Chrysler Jeep Dodge on West Kellogg in Wichita. Doing all we can do to earn your business right here, right now. Steve at ChryslerJeepDodge.net.
Good. Today, that wraps up today's work for a long toss and a little flush run. I'll be in the dugout today for the game, and I'll have the spray chart, which is something as a team we do prior to pitching. And since I have Tuesday, tomorrow's the day off, I'm in line to do the spray chart today. So I'll be in the dugout doing spray chart. All the Fargo team has tendencies that we like to write down on certain pitches and where they go, and I'm in charge of that today. Today was like an extra day, so I just tried to do what I felt was necessary, and today was kind of like a fun day. Nice little easy run, and then a long toss tomorrow. On the off day, I'll come in here maybe with Capra clip, and I'll throw about 120 feet, and then I'll have the catcher drop down and get a flat ground in where I can work on all my pitches, but down in the zone on flat ground, not necessarily on the mound. I've done that on day 2, on day 4 before my start. I like to get a guy down just to throw some pitches like on flat ground. Day 4 requires spray chart. All the pitchers that are thrown during the week, the day before we throw, we're on spray chart to learn different tendencies of the opposing hitters. It falls on my day today. We have an off day tomorrow, and I'm doing this today, and I'll throw on Tuesday. So that's pretty much it. After running earlier this morning and playing catch, we're on this for the rest of the day. Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, today's the bullpen session on day 2 is mainly to get my work in and start working on stuff that didn't really have too much, success in the game before. I work on that, get the jitters out, and get back on track. Today is more of a flat ground, throwing all your pitches because I throw tomorrow, so it's going to be what I use today to use for tomorrow. And I want to make sure my fastball's there, my slider, and then my changeup. So having Luke jump down for me, mimicking the catcher where they're going to be, just gets me out in front, an extension on the flat ground, so then when you get on an incline, my arm slot should be the same.
It's called a hat is because you take your hat off and you throw it in the ground in front of the catcher, and then it's a shorter distance. It's a touch and feel kind of thing for a pitcher the day before his start, just to get a feel for all of his pitches out front, make sure he's working down in the zone, get a good crisp feel, get a good mindset, clean going in, and be ready to dominate the next day.
I'm ready when you are. Today is just mainly I'm not max effort. Bullpen would try, like we talked about, max effort of what I have that day. So I try to get about 80 to 95%. Like motion on the mound, so then there's nothing that changes in the game. Today, it just, I feel good. It's a day of catch, but with the aggressiveness of throwing my pitches down in the zone, so I don't want to get carried away, but I'm not trying to be lackadaisical where I get nothing out of it. I agree, and that's why I'm doing this today. Last time I had the extra day, we got the rain out, I wasn't able to do anything, so I came to the field prepared to throw, and I didn't throw, so that was an off day of just doing nothing. Today I knew I had the extra day, so we scheduled my workload going into it, and I was telling you guys earlier I had an extra day 3 or day 4, so it was a free day, and then today's back to my normal day 4 to prepare for tomorrow. So today is normal. Every week that I throw, today, day 4, this is what I do. I was able to prepare for it, schedule this workload in, and last week I wasn't able to because of the rain out. It was kind of an extra day. I felt sluggish going into the game. I had 70 pitches, I think, through 3, kind of just feeling my body out. Felt too good due to the extra day off, and so now I'm back on my normal workload. I mean, I expect better results, and I think I'll be fine because I'm back on routine. You're gonna find I don't know how many stadiums in this league, but every stadium is gonna have a different mound. We have a different mound. Gary's gonna have a different mound. I'll know after the 8 warm-up pitches kind of what I'm working with, and then it's on me to not let it affect mentally my approach to the game, and I got to overcome that and throw my pitches, because the guys in the batter's box don't care if the mound is high, low, flat, steep, and it's about 8 warm-up pitches I should know, and then during the game it's going to be a work and in progress as far as like what the mound's going to be like. Some mounds are wet, some mounds are dry, some mounds give out at the bottom, there's going to be holes. Now if the other pitcher's in my same line of progress going towards home, we're going to be using the same kind of groundwork, so it's going to be getting beat up pretty fast. In the bullpen, those guys come in and it's all cratered out and a bunch of holes, so I feel sorry for them. But being a starter, I got pretty much a fresh canvas to work with, but I mean it might give out in the inning, 2 innings, and then I have to constantly move it around to my liking, and it's my job to do that to get the results I need. The last 3 innings of a ball game is what really affects the outcome. So now in a 7-inning game, you're looking at the 5, 6, 7 innings that really determine who wins this game. So for a team like ourselves, going against a Gary team, we can come out of the gates on fire and just establish lead early. I have the capability of, if I do everything right, to kind of minimize those the runs and get the offense back in there. So now, like, my mentality's not going to change from a 7-inning to a 9-inning. I just know that, now with the allotment of pitches I'm allowed, I could probably get into the 7th and save the bullpen for game 2. I don't know if that changes my mentality. That's my mentality every game, whether I throw, 7 or a 9-inning game. It's just try to go as long as I can, outlast their starting pitcher. In a 7-inning game, everything's just higher speed, I would imagine.
2 fastballs away, I'm good.
Went to California, that would do no good for me because, well, especially where I live, it's not a four-wheel drive. Just got off the bus about 20 minutes ago. I was able to sleep through the night, which was nice. We had the first game tonight at 5 o'clock. I'm starting that, so I wanted to get some sleep. Got up this morning and came over to Panera Bread, get something in my stomach, get a cup of coffee, breakfast and a sandwich, and then get that in my stomach. And I'll come over here probably, I don't know, a couple hours, get some lunch before we head to the field because it's going to be a long day. I want to make sure I don't feel as heavy, but I want to make sure I have something in my stomach, so like maybe a cup of soup or a salad, and then we should be good to go.
I've learned a ton. I mean, he's been my throwing partner since about the first month of the season, and you know, a guy that's made it to the big leagues, so he knows kind of all the tricks and all the little shortcuts. You know, he's been giving me great feedback every day playing catch, and it's just it's a guy that you want to pick his brain and take everything you can from him. It's been awesome.
Scouting reports. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's not so much about the opposing hitter's strengths, or weaknesses. It's more about our pitcher's strengths, and not only that, our pitcher's strengths that day. Guy might have a great breaking ball, but maybe his breaking ball's not that great that day. So it doesn't matter. And you know, you might have a hitter who can't, on the other team, who can't hit it, who's a poor changeup hitter. Well, my guy his third best pitch is changeup. I'm not going to start throwing a whole bunch of changeups, you know. So it's just good for us to everybody get familiar with the hitters, just get on the same page, and understand how our guys' strengths are going to match up against their weaknesses.
Stats, I kind of want to look at like maybe the last 10 games. Are they hot coming into us? So if I need to know who's hot, I just go on the chart. Last 10 games, what's their batting averages? How many doubles do they have? So then I know, like, I mean, everybody hits the ball, but how many doubles are they hitting? Those are typically well-hit balls. And then for myself, are they a guy who walks a lot or strikes out a lot? Because then I know how many pitches I need to be wasting on a guy, or where my pitch selection needs to be. And then obviously stolen bases. Are they going to get on the bases, or are they just going to start running wild? So I need to control my running game. So I look at strikeouts, walks, and stolen bases, and then pretty much, are they hot the last 10 games?
Left-handed hitter goes the other way well. He'll cheat sometimes. He'll cheat from time to time early in the count to yank a fastball. He gets into swing mode sometimes. When we get him with 2 strikes, he'll chase stuff buried out of the zone. But otherwise, he'll look to stay on changeups from righties or breaking balls that he sees up and stay on them and flip them to the other side. Okay, if we go off speed with him, bury him, and I think we can come in hard to him late. But we get 2 strikes on him. Let's bury our off speed and get him chasing.
Get aggressive early.
You can beat him in. Like we can beat him in consistently.
Just anything hard.
A little bit of a slide.
Anything hard.
I think he's aggressive to the opposite field early. You know what I mean? So I think sliders are good. Sliders in the zone are good to force him to pull the ball to roll over early in the count.
He takes this pitch, he'll take it left center gap. He's pretty good at it. If you're gonna go, if you're gonna go in on him, it better be a purpose pitch.
He had a good series against Fargo too.
Yeah.
He's been swinging out well.
He's like, for me, he's Valencia with power.
Oh, okay. So he's got
He's Valencia with power. That's what I saw out of him. He does a good job. He carves, but he does a good. You stay down in a way we got him to roll over almost every time on fastballs.
Okay. Hey, these guys. We know exactly what these guys are. We know exactly what they are as a team, as hitters, as players. Come after them, be aggressive, continue being the aggressor, make them use it. Let your defense work. Have some fun out there.
Runners on the corners. Brent Cleveland hammers the first pitch he sees in the left field. That's an RBI single for the former major leaguer, and Wichita has a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. Again, right-hander Chris Smith takes the ball for the Wingnuts. Last time he was on the mound, he started against the RailCats.
Start usually is pretty good. Oh, whoa.
Klein unloads on one deep to right field. Heading back is David Amberson, and he makes the catch on the warning track. Here's the pitch. Massaro swings a shallow fly to right center. Long run, Brent Cleveland, and he makes the catch. Oh, what a nice play by the center fielder. How about appearances for them in 2010 as Vitters swings and misses at a sinker below the strike zone, and the RailCats are retired in order in the first. Lead as well. Cahalaleo lifts the ball to left. Reed front coming on, makes the catch. They're going to try the arm. Here comes the throw. It's on time, but it gets by the catcher Maddox and goes back to the screen. A sacrifice fly brings in Cole Armstrong, and it's now 2-0 Wichita. Kolb hammers the ball. A fair ball down the third base line. That's going to roll all the way into the corner. Come around and score Craig Maddox as Kolb stands in at second with an RBI double. It's now 2-1. Here's the set and the delivery. Pulled on the ground to first. Oh, and it's off the foot of C.J. Ziegler. That ought to be an error on the first baseman as Martinez gets there safely. Pitch on the ground, past the diving first baseman Ziegler and down the right field line. Come around to score Brian Kolb. Drew Martinez as well. It's a 2-run single, and the RailCats have the lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the second. Team started by Smith as Klein breaks his bat. Slow roller to second. Only play for Cahalileo is to first. And Adam Klein will have another RBI. Here's Smith's delivery. Massaro hits it well. Deep left center field. Brent Cleveland going back, and he can't get it. It's down on the warning track. In to score is Nick Lyles. Massaro running hard. He wants 3, and he's in safely, and this throw gets away. Oh, and it's going to sit around, and Massaro scores. There goes Christian Vitters, and Maddox hammers a ball to right center field. This will get down off the warning track and off the wall. Come around and score, Christian Vitters. It's an RBI double as Craig Maddox plays some wall ball. It's 7-2.
2-1, ground ball out towards second. A couple of steps to his right and came home to score. Back in the second, ground ball 1-2, 3 hots. This time to Galileo. Throw to first base is out number 2. Right at him.
Here's Chris Smith's delivery. Martinez swings and pops it up. Shallow center field. The shortstop Corey going out. He's called off by the center fielder Brent Cleveland, who makes the catch, and there's one away. So Chris Smith is really starting to roll here. He's now retired 8 in a row. And 12 of the last 13. And the right-hander delivers. Swung on and hit well towards left center. Brent Cleveland tracking it into the alley. Center fielder reaches up and makes the catch at the last moment. So the RailCats threatened with 2 outs. No runs on a hit. Here's the first pitch to him. It's hammered through the middle. Caught by the second baseman. Underhand flip. It's a double play. They double off McDonald from second, and the game is over. The RailCats pick up the victory in the opener of this doubleheader.
Yeah, it was tough. The first inning went pretty good. Didn't throw that many pitches, and then came out for the second, and then ended up throwing a combination of 51 pitches between the first and second inning. Gave up a couple hits. There was a couple errors, a couple walks. Pretty much just a cluster of everything. And it's my job to go ahead and just keep throwing strikes, which I did. And they hit the ball. They put the ball in play. They get a couple doubles, a couple singles, runners in scoring position. They scored. Kind of like what we talked about earlier is like they're going to be attacking me just like I'm attacking them. They know what I throw. They know, I know what they do. Still pumping strikes in there, not avoiding contact. It's a team that they're going to be focused on putting the ball in play, and that's what they did. And then the next 4 innings, I ended up throwing 55 pitches, so it was kind of like just one tough inning that I kind of got stuck in mud and tried to get out of it as fast as I could. Anytime you put up a crooked number like that, it's kind of like it brings the whole team down. And that's kind of like a lot of pressure on the pitcher because they go, based on us and how our attitude is. And so if we give up a 7th spot and it's a constant just ring around the rosies going on the base pass, I gotta make better pitches. Bottom line, whether I'm making good ones at the time or not, I gotta get better pitches up there. And like I said, Gary's doing his job to put the ball in play. I'm not doing my job putting the quality pitches per at bat. So it's kind of like sitting back after that inning, it was like, whoa, that just happened in a hurry, and it's a 7 inning, a 7 spot in 1 inning, and it doesn't look good. I don't care, baseball fan or non-baseball fan, seeing a 7 in that inning is not good at all. That's rule number 1 right there is if you do something like that, and it was a 7-run inning, to come back up and get our offense back in there because the defense was out there for so long that we want them to hit, and so I tried to do my best to come out there in the 3rd inning and give a 1-2-3 inning and get back on my game. It's not like I went away from my game plan, but start executing pitches within the game plan that we stayed with because Gary, they're taking pitches, they put together good at bats, and they're going to run the pitch count up. So I tried to counteract that with just letting them hit the ball early because after a 7-run inning, I want them off the bases. I want to get in the dugout and sit down. I want our hitters to come up and just get back to like their game plan because when we have a long inning, they're out of their element. They're on defense longer. They're kind of lackadaisical. It's not their fault. It's the pitcher's fault. But I want them back on their schedule and their routine. You don't think about that going into the game. It's something that works out at the end that I was able to put together some innings to help the team out in the end because I was the only pitcher used, and then in the second game we ended up using the bullpen, which is nice. You go back and play Monday Night Quarterback, like if I came out in the second inning or 3rd inning and wasn't able to get back on track and ride that thing out. We're using pitchers in the first game, we're using pitchers in the second game, and it's like, oh, you put yourself in a position that you don't want to be in as, running out of bullpen arms. It's tough because, like, you have one good game, one bad game, one inning good, one bad inning, so it's like, it's never just, how it's easy to pitch when everything goes your way, but it's like, how do you pitch when things are not going your way? And, things didn't go my way, but I still got to stay to track. I can't abort mission and just start doing something that I'm not used to doing. We had a game plan, some of the stuff, pitches I didn't execute. I got to come back and execute those pitches. The first game, it was kind of like everything was going on track. I had better execution on my pitches. That's my fault, Like the first game was great. The second game, throw it to the wind and move on. If I face these guys again, here's a new future, or maybe possibly in the playoffs, it's going to be the same game plan, but it's on me to execute my pitches. It's tough. I think it's tougher in the beginning than it is in the end. In the beginning, you're starting to put some stuff together about what to do and how your body reacts to that, how your body recovers from that. We followed myself this week, and I do a lot of preparation to get myself ready and feeling good for my day, when I start. So a lot of that is already kind of tinkered with, and my routine's pretty much set. This is what I do this week to get ready for my game. And, next year, I might tinker with something in the beginning because, this year I didn't like the way it felt, or, I like this stuff this year, I'm going to carry it over to next year. But a lot of guys come in and they constantly want to change stuff during the year. You don't have a good routine, you don't have a game plan, and you're always moving around. This way you don't know what you're going to ask from your body, and you don't know what you're going to get from your body. So it's kind of tough. So I found my routine early. I stuck with it through 20-something starts, and it's worked fine. I felt great going into every outing, and I think I kind of over the years, this is what I'm used to, and I kind of just stuck with that, and here we go. You saw my workout, you saw my running, you saw my throwing, what I do for preparation, and then you saw a good game and a bad game. It's not going to change my routine. It's going to be back on day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way till I throw. So pretty much that's what it's going to be from here on out.